Thanks to LastPass for sponsoring a portion of this video. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Lost Bits video right here on TetraBitGaming, the series where we explore the unused, scrapped, and unseen content in video games. Following the success of the first two Mario Party games, 2001 saw the release of Mario Party 3. Now, although it may be one of the weakest selling Mario Party games, I'd be pretty confident in saying that it is my favorite in the series. Sporting new characters, boards, mechanics, and 70 all-new minigames, this entry is a banger. Before we get started, a big thank you to LastPass for sponsoring a portion of this video. Ever feel like you have too many passwords to remember? Well, with the power of LastPass, you no longer have to remember all of them, so you can stop getting locked out of your accounts and let LastPass do all the remembering for you. LastPass allows you to easily keep track of your passwords, so you don't have to write them down or keep resetting your password every time you forget it. And I don't know about you guys, but I used to do that a lot. You can also allow LastPass to autofill your credentials, even on mobile sites and iOS and Android apps, making it super easy to log in. LastPass also offers unlimited password storage and will sync them across as many devices as you need. And if you're worried about security or your passwords being compromised, no need, as LastPass protects your data at every step. Best of all, these features are free, with other options available if you want some more features like advanced multi-factor authentication. So if you're interested in leveling up your password game, check out the link below to find out more. Thanks again to LastPass for sponsoring that portion. Now on to the rest of the video. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, go grab a dice block, it's time to find some lost bits. Kicking things off, we have a slew of unused graphics, models, and sounds. Oh, and by the way, if I sound a bit extra nasally in this video, I'm a little bit sick, so please forgive me. Anyways, if you've watched my previous Lost Bits videos on Mario Party 1 and 2, you'll recognize a few of these, which makes sense since numerous things were copied from game to game. First up is the unused jingle that's been left unused ever since Mario Party 1. Why does it keep coming back? Your guess is as good as mine, but maybe it's just such a short jingle that it's useful for quickly testing audio with it? I don't know. Next up is a hidden character icon. This strongly suggests that some characters were meant to be unlocked in the game, probably the series newcomers, and wah! However, in the final game, every character comes unlocked right off the bat, so obviously this idea to use these was scrapped. But by using the following GameShark code in a North American version of the game that doesn't have a save file yet, the game will skip right to the character selection screen, and we can see remnants of the game having us unlock the characters. Surprisingly, even the back of the box for the game states, "You can even unlock new characters in the one-player challenge." So I guess maybe having them unlocked right away was a last-minute design decision. Speaking of Daisy and Waluigi, they each also have an early portrait graphic. Both are a bit different than the one seen in the final release. There's also leftover early textures for Waluigi, which for the most part look fairly similar, aside from his overalls originally being much brighter. Next, we got some scrapped story mode ratings for a D, E, and F rank. In the final release, the lowest rating you can get is a C. I guess either they didn't want to have to differentiate that many ranks, or they just didn't want the player to feel bad for getting anything lower than a C. Next up, we got an early, stubbier version of this Toad card, as well as this unused Koopa transition screen graphic, which isn't used since Koopa never hosts any minigames or anything like that in this game. Another unused thing that has also been seen left over in previous games is the now printing image, and surprise surprise, it makes a comeback here as well. Once again, its purpose is to act as a placeholder for the minigame icon image. This graphic can be loaded into the game by using the following GameShark code, which forces the game to load Chance Time as a regular minigame. This, of course, never normally occurs. Now onto some graphics that remain unused in this game that were used in previous Mario Party games. For Mario Party 2, we have this Italian flag and backdrop from the language selection screen, this data corruption screen, this bullet bill and versus graphic that pops up before the minigame roulettes, and an updated graphic for the picker item, which was also unused in Mario Party 2. Then for Mario Party 1, left over are the graphics for first, second, third, and fourth place, these block graphics from the Bowser's Magma Mountain board, an early version of the star block also from that board, as well as graphics for the mushroom/poison mushroom block. Perhaps these blocks were once planned to return in this game too, but it's probably more likely they just forgot to delete them when copying over stuff from Mario Party 1. Then, as far as unused models go, the model from the test map we saw in the Mario Party 1 Lost Bits is left over, although it's currently unknown if it can be accessed in the same way. It's a pretty cool test map, so if you haven't yet seen me explore it in that video, I highly recommend you check it out. These blocks, sporting values from 0.5 to 3.0, which are also found in that same test room in Mario Party 1, also have their models and textures left over here. Then, untextured, there's this completely unused slide and stairs combo, which looks kinda cool really. I wonder what it could have been used for. And then there are these weird hexagonal and octagonal prism objects that have also been sticking around since the first Mario Party. These were probably just very early platforms to test collision or something. Moving along, we got some more things scrapped that have been scrapped before. Twice. First is of course the no game feature. If this is your first time hearing about it, by using the following GameShark code in a standard party game, this mode can be enabled, and just like the name suggests, no minigames will be played between turns. It also reveals the yellow character's heads-up display background, which is otherwise never seen. Unlike the previous games though, where the game would end after the set amount of turns, in this game, the game just keeps going on forever. And unfortunately, the no game graphic no longer appears in this game. This mode was likely either used by developers to quickly test the board functionality without being bogged down by the minigames, or who knows, maybe it might have been an actual planned mode for players to play a party game without minigames. Either way, regardless of what its intention was, it was left hidden away from the average player. Next is a message that pops up from the Millennium Star if a player already has the maximum 99 star limit. He says, I'm very sorry, but you can't carry any more stars. Similar messages also exist in Mario Party 1 and 2, and just like those, although not technically unused I suppose, I don't think it's likely at all that someone could amass 99 stars without cheating within 50 turns. Either way, at least we know there's a star limit. Just like its predecessors, Mario Party 3 also has a ton of really cool debugging content. At least I think it's really cool. I don't know what it is, but debugging stuff like this left over in games always fascinates me. Anyways, first is a debug pause menu that can be accessed during a minigame by using this GameShark code. In the middle of the pause screen, several new options appear. We got cancel, reset, light, info, must, and SE-stp. Cancel just backs out of the menu, reset will instantly end the minigame in a draw, light allows you to play around with the lighting and fog in the current game by using the C buttons, info will toggle a memory usage meter, MUSSTP, which is obviously short for music stop, does just that, and finally SESTP, which stands for sound effect stop, obviously disables all the sound effects. Overall, a pretty nifty little debug menu. The same memory usage meter from that menu can also be loaded elsewhere in the game, if you're into that sort of thing. Similarly, you can also enable the TV safe zone frame. This basically showed the developers where user interface elements could be placed on screen, so they could be visible on most TVs. Next, there is also a save data debugging menu which can be accessed by using this GameShark code and holding the Z button during a screen transition. Just like the name implies, this menu lets you play around with the current save file. Here you can unlock all the minigames, unlock Waluigi and Daisy, which just supports what we discussed earlier, change story mode progress, which character you're using, the difficulty level, and you can also instantly unlock the Waluigi's Island and backtrack boards. Not a bad little menu if you're lazy like me and just want to unlock everything right away. Now, I'm not sure if this is unused or not, but by unlocking all the minigames, I think I sequence broke the game. And when entering the minigame room, Toad will first say that you've unlocked all the secret minigames, and then he'll tell you about how to unlock the minigames. The kicker is that after telling you how to unlock the minigames, he'll say, it looks like all the minigames have been unlocked. Excuse me, I was mistaken, please play whatever game you want. I guess this message would appear if you didn't enter the minigame room even once before unlocking all of the minigames. Again, it's another one of those not unused things, but probably seen by very few, that I thought I'd give it a quick mention. We had a lot of fun with Mario Party 2's character animation test, so I'm pleased to see it make a return in Mario Party 3. Again, it's pretty simple. You can just swap between all the different characters, their animations, and then move, rotate, and zoom in or out of the model as you please. You can also swap between the lower and higher poly models of each character, which is always interesting to see. Waluigi honestly doesn't look that bad, even in low poly form. But then we have... Unfortunately, I wasn't able to recreate the absolute monstrosities I saw in Mario Party 2, but there we go. This game still has a few weird models like this kicking around. Nice. What you doing, Wario? I think all these slick moves call for another dance-off. This time around, Mario Party 3 also has a message check mode. As the name implies, here you can basically view all the text messages seen in the game. Interestingly, Boo is used as the placeholder icon for the text boxes that other characters normally use. Admittedly, not as interesting as the character animation test, but still cool to see nonetheless. Furthermore, although only Peach appears in the North American and European versions of the game, in the Japanese version, Peach will be joined by the rest of the original crew, including another copy of herself. Additionally, only in this version will all of the game's screen transition animations play out as soon as you enter this mode. It's kind of a weird thing to scrap from the other versions. And saving the best debug menu for last, we got this main one. Again, this one is visually the same as the ones for both Mario Party 1 and 2, right down to the missing $DK silhouette image. Using this GameShark code in the North American version, one of two debug menus can be accessed by holding L or R respectively during a scene transition. They're mostly the same, only one will have different names for some of the minigames, will remove all the missing entries, and also contain the text check I mentioned earlier. These menus basically let you test any minigame with any configuration of characters. We also see the minigames in Japanese transliterations like Kinopio Koopa, Tondeke Koopa Hammer, and who could forget Go Go Mokuba. With this menu, you can also load right into several different dual maps, test any of the Game Guy minigames, chance time, and also test loading the minigame explanation screen. Overall, a pretty slick little debug menu to test things and get around to different minigames quickly. I can definitely see why this was useful for the developers. And last up for this video, I tried once again to move the camera around to see anything noteworthy that's normally unseen to us. But as we saw in both Mario Parties 1 and 2, the game boards and most minigames just use 2D graphics for the background, with some objects overlaid. I couldn't even see any of the spaces during a party game. Anyway, that's all to say there's really not anything unseen in these instances, though it is fun to flip stuff around. For areas that do use more 3D objects, sometimes there's pretty cool stuff to see, like the outside of Peach's castle when loaded inside, but for the most part, the areas are just super small with nothing really out of view, or the background just trips out like it did in this main menu toy box area. Though I was able to see these two trees here, which are normally unseen during this segment of the intro cutscene. Honestly, the most interesting thing was to zoom out of the game setup area and see the background pillar of stars reset every once in a while in a continuous loop. It's so rad that even the Millennium Star lost his face for some reason. Anyways guys, that's all for this Mario Party 3 Lost Bits video, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did, be sure to slap a like down below and subscribe for more Lost Bits in the future. And if you want to catch up on some more Lost Bits, you can check them out by clicking on the card right here. Check out my other social media things, which are all linked below to stay even more up to date. And if you want to support the channel, check out my snazzy merch over at TetraBitGaming.com, or consider becoming the latest TetraBit channel member. Click on the join button below for more info. Anyways guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you in a bit.